Folks, this is not a drill. The Final Warning Sidearm is now dropping from us because Bungie just released all strand fragments late last night. By the way, I am losing my voice. Now, in order to even start this quest, you need to unlock every strand subclass. Originally, it was locked. Some of the fragments were locked until next week's reset. The other fragments were locked until after the raid. But stated in the TWAB yesterday, Bungie decided to release all of them. Now, keep in mind, guys, these fragments are not cheap. You want to focus this on one class, the classes you've been unlocking strand for and playing with pretty much throughout this entire expansion, but each fragment costs around 200 strand meditations. We have a guide on how to farm for these. This will save you a lot of time when it comes to unlocking these meditations. Essentially though, complete activities around the Amuna and use strand while you're doing it. Now, once you do have enough meditations and you're able to unlock the rest of the fragments for your strand subclass, you can then pick up the exotic quest, the final strand. And fellas, let me just tell you, the Final Warning Sidearm looks disgusting. Now, starting with step 1, once you pick up the quest from the Pukapan, step 1 will have you visit Nimbus at Strider's Gate in Neomuna. Nothing crazy here, just go see Nimbus where they're normally at. All Nimbus needs to hear is strand weapon to get on board, and after a little bit of dialogue, you'll be on to step 2. Step 2 requires you to search for strand inoculated gadgets at the Veil containment areas of Neomuna. Now, if you're wondering where to go, we highly recommend you track the mission on your quest tab. This will display a mark on your HUD for you to follow, so if you ever get lost, you have some method of finding your way. But essentially, you want to hop off the right of the tower at Strider's Gate, and from here, you can quickly parkour your way through the streets of Neomuna. Follow the quest marker into the Zephyr Concourse. But once you're at the Zephyr Concourse, you're going to want to head to the ESI Terminal. Now, the entrance to the ESI Terminal is just above a walkway patrolled by Cabal, and you actually see the entrance on the map here if you're having trouble. Now, when you get inside, you want to take a left and follow the path until you reach the Arcala Complex. Head down the balconies here, and you'll see a darkness portal on one of the balconies toward the bottom. Once you go through the portal, head inside the breach in the fortress wall ahead of you, and from there defeat enemies until you are greeted by a squad of Shadow Legion looters, which will spawn in the middle of the courtyard beginning step 3. Now for step 3, you need to defeat these Shadow Legion looters and read their orders to learn where they took the spoils. Now the Shadow Legion looters are marked with Ingram icons, so they're a little hard to miss. Throw on that strand build, fellas, because these Shadow Legion looters are going to be coming in 2 waves. Now after defeating the second wave, a colossal looter will spawn. Melt them, but make sure to keep your eye on the scions that spawn up top as well. Once you defeat the Colossus, he will then drop the orders we need, revealing where the Shadow Legion took the Veil Spectrometer. Now for step 4, you need to retrieve the Veil Spectrometer from the Typhon Imperator. Make your way either from the Strider's Gate or Limey Harmer over to Himza Park, where you'll need to make your way inside Callus's flagship. You head inside, past a Sphinx-like statue, sitting within the entryway to the end of the hall, then jump down the shaft. You'll come to a platform overlooking 2 gladiator statues with some ads waiting for you. Kill them, then proceed to jump down to the platform to the bridge below. Run to the end of the bridge, and you actually find some more Shadow Legion mulling about with a tormentor named Imprint of Nezrak. Now, if you have any trouble with this fight, just remember, guys, suspending is literally the ultimate counter to tormentors. It exposes all the crit spots. It's fantastic. Now, once you defeat the Imprint of Nezrak, you'll move on to step 5. 5, which is visit the Pukapan in the Hall of Heroes in Neomuna. With this one, guys, you just want to fast travel back to the Hall of Heroes, meditate at the Pukapan, and you'll move right on to step 6. Now, for step 6, you'll need to complete Osiris's training program in the Radio Song, which is located in the southern area of Neomuna, in at least 5 minutes and 30 seconds to retune the Veil Spectrometer. For this, you do want to make sure that you are running strand with the grapple. This is really important, guys, because you're going to need to use the grapple points to speedrun this. By the way, bonus points if you get it done in less than a minute 30. There's actually a few triumphs waiting for you if you do. Now, you speed through the Vex network, killing all enemies as you go until you get to the final room. This is where you're going to need to rotate through the room counterclockwise, clearing it to get the boss to spawn. Now, once the boss spawns in, it should be easy enough to quickly burn it. As soon as the boss pops, that's it, guys. You're done. On to the final step. Now, to finish the quest, you need to simply just head back to the Hall of Heroes to complete step 7, fast travel to Nimbus, and visit the Pukapan again in the Hall of Heroes to finish your strand weapon. Meditate, and then you can claim the Final Warning Exotic Sidearm. Now, we're going to be testing this sidearm extensively today, but I do want to talk about its base perks. First, its exotic perk all at once. Holding down the trigger marks targets within range and loads multiple bullets, which fires in a burst with increased stability on trigger release. And hitting a marked target with a fully charged burst will unravel them. You can imagine the crazy synergy here with this and our fragments that we just recently unlocked with Strand. Now, this fires 10 rounds, half of the magazine in quick succession. It also comes with Pick Your Poison. Hip firing, projectiles will track marked targets, dealing increased body shot damage on impact. In aiming, projectiles have greatly increased velocity and deal extra critical damage to marked targets. Bungie actually even talked about this weapon and said it's a combination of TQ's Divination and Devil's Ruin. And you can see where it changes based on when you're hip firing versus when you're aiming down sights. Now, this sidearm is also deadly inside of PvP. Les was actually using it on his account. Its charge time, though, is a full second, so 1,000 charge time. And the fall off for the sidearm is 16 meters. If you're interested in learning how this sidearm performs, we'll have a breakdown later today. If that's already out, we'll link it. And if you want to see us using this thing live, feel free to come by our stream, guys. Lots of testing to do here with this sidearm. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.